Hockey fans, and welcome to the Skating Club of Boston. Joe Panola alongside Tyler Gonsalves. Tyler, we are in for a spectacular game today. Norwood and Holliston just coming off a 7-5 match. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Really excited for some hockey on a Saturday.
This should be a really interesting match. Holliston will get their goalie back today, number 29, Nico Quattroni. They had started an 8th grader in goal last game, who Wesley DeMonico, who really held his own and did a nice job keeping Holliston in the game.
Absolutely. Mustangs are fortunate enough to get a lot of shots from the offense and the defense. We had 2 goals from George Solomon, 2 from Jake Russo, 2 from Ryan Mateer, and 1 from Jack Curran. Jack Curran and George Solomon, their first varsity goals, so great night for the Mustangs on Wednesday.
Yeah, Norwood came away with the win, a 7-5 victory. I talked to Coach Allen earlier. He said it's still a win, but they have things that they can improve on still. So Norwood defense hopefully looking to clean some things up, and we should be excited to see what they have in store for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mustangs will hope to create just as much offense on tonight, as well as hold them in check and not give up 5 goals today. We have Brendan Bartuka in net. We talked before the game. He seems ready.
Yeah, Brendan Bartuka will get the start tonight. Jake Russo looking to continue his role as well. As you mentioned earlier, he scored a couple of goals the last time they met. He had a goal in the season opener as well. So the Norwood hockey team, 2-3 this season. They'll look to continue some success and to make a run up the standings. And for Holliston, their second game of the year.
Yeah, we had a fortunate enough to talk to the Holliston coach before the game, and short season for them. They only get 6 games in, but he's really excited. They really want to enjoy.
Well, we'll watch the players get ready as they finish up their warm-ups here. About a minute left till game time. Both teams coming out really excited to play in this new rink. Tyler, what a beautiful rink we have here in Norwood. The first time that we will be at the Skating Club of Boston. No more Rodman, no more Badgeko, and the kids couldn't be more excited.
Oh, absolutely fantastic rink. So excited to be here. New rink, Mustangs are very excited to have for practice time, game time. Also a lot warmer than usual rinks, so it's been beautiful here.
Yeah, we've had some very cold rinks in the past, but we've really got a first-class facility here at the Skating Club. And nice to see the Norwood logo on center ice as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams warming up here, about 20 seconds here from game time. Excited to get the start. Boys look like they're ready to go.
They certainly do. I was talking to a couple of kids in class this week. They're excited to be on their home ice. They're excited to be playing. We know during these times with the pandemic, things can be really challenging. But just to be out on the ice, they're really happy about that. And even though no fans today, the atmosphere feels pretty electric.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even without fans, who are very unfortunate to have you guys at home and not be here, atmosphere here is great. Music is as loud as can be. And both teams finishing up our warm-up here. We'll start the game real shortly.
There's a shot of Coach Allen as he gets ready. Coach Allen in his 5th season as head coach for the Norwood boys hockey team as they wrap up their warm-ups here today. A chilly January day as we get started for a match between Norwood and Holliston. Tyler, it'll be a little bit different. 2 halves in terms of hockey. We won't have the typical period structure, but still the same 45-minute game time.
Yeah, absolutely. So fortunate enough to call one of the girls' games earlier this year. 2 halves is definitely an interesting factor. Ice gets a little bit choppy there at the end of these halves since we spent so much time on it without that Zamboni ride between periods. A little bit of adjustment for the players as well, coming on and off the ice, a lot more time.
Yeah, the Norwood hockey team huddled up around their net right now. It'll be Brendan Bartuka, the senior, in goal for Norwood. And as we mentioned at the top, the senior captain, Nico Quattroni, will be in goal for Holliston today as the teams get ready to go. Norwood for Coach Allen will be skating right to left across your screen in their home whites. Holliston will be skating in their away black jerseys from left to right. They have the black jerseys with some red and white trim across the bottom, looking a little bit reminiscent of the Ottawa Senators and their new digs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the boys will be looking here to come out hot in this first half. We've fortunate enough to score a lot of goals this year, and you want to score some early here in the first.
If you liked goals, last Wednesday's game was a game for you. 12 combined between the two teams. And so as much as you like to see the scoring, if you're Coach Allen or Coach Dutcher, you'd like to see the defense pick things up a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Absolutely.
For Norwood, they will start their top line here. Jake Russo will center it alongside Nick Spadorsha, Connor Lydon, Jack Lydon, one of the assistant captains for the team, and Kyle Ledger will start on defense. For Holliston, a couple seniors beginning for them as well. Kevin Balowitz will take the faceoff, and Balowitz loses the draw against Russo. Kyle Ledger now along the side, tries to pass it to Spadorsha, goes just wide of his stick. Ledger dumps it in, and Norwood will chase into the Holliston end. And we will quickly have a whistle. And the teams will head back down after that early icing.
And with this first whistle, we'd like to just take a quick moment to shout out a Norwood hockey legend. So Norwood hockey lost a legend this week, Mr. Bob Clifford. He passed away from complications from COVID. He had a successful hockey career at Norwood High School and went on to play at Brown University. He came back to Norwood High, where he was a beloved history teacher for 38 years. His father Stan started the Norwood Nuggets youth hockey program, and he will be missed as all you know him, and many Norwood families, as much as my own. Definitely my parents remember him very well.
Definitely a legend in the Norwood community, and we wish the best and send our condolences to Bob Clifford's family. Norwood now looking to try to gain some energy after that icing. They will keep a lot of that same line out. Connor Lydon coming up on the back check. That shot goes wide of Bartuka. Big hit along the boards from Connor Lydon. And it looks like that will be Jake Russo cleaning that up for Norwood as they attempt to move into the offensive end. Russo jumps it in, moves against Ryan Dutcher, one of the junior captains for Holliston. Back in behind the boards, Kevin Broderick on the ice, battling with a Holliston player. Nick Spadorsha tries to keep it in, but Holliston gets it out of the zone. Now over to Broderick on the close side of the rink. A little bit of a shove against number 10, George Gabriel, a freshman who's in the game for Holliston. Coming around now, Broderick, working against some other Holliston players. There's number 24, Reese Duncan. Number 10, Gabriel almost took a spill, and now Norwood will move up. Broderick gains the line, shot on net, and a glove save by Quattromoni. Norwood would like to thank a couple of our hockey sponsors this year. The Silver Mustang sponsor is Vincent D'Iorio Incorporated. Vinny is a super fan of Jake Russo, and he watches all of his games. And we'd like to also thank our Bronze Mustang sponsor, Robert Dempsey, class of 1969 of Dempsey Insurance. Huge thank you to both of them. Kyle Ledger now will try to get out of the zone for Norwood. There's number 10, Sean Dittmeyer, a sophomore for the Mustangs. And Max Sharkey, one of the captains on the team, number 16, moves it in.
And
battling along the boards is Jack Curran.
Seen a couple of lines for the Mustangs early here. Nice to see them switching up all three lines on offense, getting some time on the ice here.
Coach Allen does a great job of getting different players in there. Good battle there from Jack Lydon trying to keep it in, but Holliston gets it out. And it looks like we'll have an icing. 20:22 left to go here in this first half of action. Tyler, that feels weird to say, doesn't it?
Oh, it's crazy here with the halves, especially now getting back to watching the NHL during the week. These halves are quite an interesting phenomenon, but something that, like with COVID, a lot of new experiences.
That's for sure, and they're doing a lot of that in the name of player safety. So the teams will not be able to change off their personnel with the icing. Here's the draw. Attempting to keep it in is George Tolman as he goes to chase it down. He's on defense with number 5, Jared Shea. This one moved over to Lydon. Lydon on the far side of the rink. Gets tangled up a little bit in the middle of the rink with number 14 for Holliston, Kevin Balowitz. Holliston putting their starting line back out there. Number 22, Christian Schneelock is out as well, centered by the senior Hunter McElhaney, number 18. Hit along the side, a big hit from Russo on number 9, Mitch Saporano. As we see
Holliston player losing his helmet there on that big hit. Appears to be okay, though, so happy to see that. And very physical play from the Mustangs early, setting the tone here for the first half.
They certainly are. Less than 3 minutes into the game, and Russo, known for his scoring prowess, also playing a physical game here early on.
Love to see the two-way game from Russo there. Definitely will have the team fired up coming into the face-off.
I was talking to Jake a little bit earlier. He's just glad to be on the ice this season, especially as a senior, with so much of what's unsure. Here's a drive in on net that just goes to the left of it from Trevor Fanara, number 5, a junior for Holliston.
That's a big hit there from Broderick as well. Mustangs definitely setting the tone early.
Broderick working hard against Ryan Dutcher, and now that's sent in deep, and Julian Payne will touch up for Holliston. 19:24 to go, no score here in the first half of hockey action between the Norwood Mustangs and the Holliston Panthers. Joe Panola alongside Tyler Gonsalves with you. Tyler, physical early on, huh?
Physical game early on. You love to see it, though. The boys are fired up to be out here. I think it's very interesting playing each team twice in 1 week. I think that brings an added factor and element.
That will be interesting. We'll see if any of the hits from last game carry over. Miles Kidd trying to get out of the Norwood zone, but he's met there by Trevor Fanara. Jack Lydon now behind the net. Lydon will move it up. Pass to Kevin Broderick, who dumps it in deep. Brian Mateer gives it some look. And we'll have some new lines coming out here for the Mustangs.
And I'll have to give Brian a shout out, talk to him during the week. He's absolutely so excited about hockey. Brian, a multi-sport athlete, also plays football and baseball. But hockey, I think, is one true love, and he's been talking about it all week.
He is fired up and does a really nice job in class as well.
Absolutely. Great student.
It'll be number 14, Kevin Balowitz, on the draw for Holliston. He gets tangled up a little bit with Sean Dittmeyer, number 10. Holliston trying to work it through. There's McElhaney, and a nice play by Bartuka to snare that save.
And we have Coach Allen definitely fired up on the sidelines. Can't make out what he's saying here, even without a crowd. But definitely talking to his lines about these face-off losses in the offensive zone.
Coach Allen is focused and ready to go and hoping to get the same out of his team. Kyle Ledger now battles in behind the net. Norwood will try to move it up. Moving in and falling over is Julian Payne for Holliston. Some physical play behind the net. Jack Curran does a nice job trying to keep it in. Sean Dittmeyer battling as well. Jack Curran just had his first goal of his hockey career last game, looking to add to that total today.
And Mustangs doing a good job of keeping it in the Holliston end here.
There's a turnover in the wrong end. Dittmeyer, though, can't turn that into a chance for the Mustangs. Norwood trying to keep it in. And unfortunately, number 28 on the ice now, Ed Carroll, is unable to do so. And
good move by Curran there. Unlucky not to hit the net.
Ledger and Carroll will sub off as Tolman comes into the game for Norwood. He's working alongside number 15, Brendan Gillis, who has entered. Now into the corner from McElhaney. We've seen a lot with him, and this one will go up into the netting. We'll have a stoppage in play.
So during this stoppage of play, the Friends of Norwood Mustangs would like to shout out people who have donated $100 or more. So in memory of Richard O'Gorman, super fan of Brian Mateer, Carroll Advertising, John Carroll, class of 82, Red Rooster Bar and Grill, Zamito Insurance, the Conti family, Dedham Savings Bank, the Bank of Canton, Poirier Sales and Service, Pediatric Associates of Norwood and Franklin, Friends of Norwood Hockey, the Spadorcia family, and a big shout out to Edward Figueroa of EF Digital Printing, who created these banners that you saw here before the game started.
And those banners look wonderful. They'll be nice keepsakes for the kids as well, hopefully after the season. Fit perfectly in with our new home and new scoreboard here at the Skating Club of Boston, as we have an icing and both teams will make their way back down.
Absolutely great to have these banners here for our seniors to kind of show them some appreciation in a year where they might not get as much as they deserve.
Norwood with their top line back out on the ice. Russo wins the draw, back to his defense. Here's George Tolman. Inside, Spadorcia will battle against Ryan Dutcher, number 20. Back out to Tolman, over to Spadorcia. Nick tries to put it in low. Connor Lydon now doing battle against a couple of Holliston players. George Gabriel is back out for Holliston. Jonah Feldman is there as well, number 6.
And Nick tried to get that tip there in front of the net. Unlucky not to.
Russo tries to put a shot on net, but a block by one of the Holliston defenders. And there's an unfortunate bounce for the Mustangs. Reese Stunkin gains the zone and fires a shot on net. Nice play by Bartuka to turn it aside. There's a battle in the middle of the field. Connor Lydon goes down, was looking for a call, won't get one. And we'll have a change for both teams. Strong drive there from Dutcher. Turned aside.
Mustangs trying to get control of this puck and now take it on the rush.
They will do that. Spidorcia with a drive on net. And the save is made by Quattromoni.
Nick's firing from the blue line there, trying to get a shot on net. Good to get some pucks on net early.
16:35 to go here in the first half of action. No scores. We come to you live from the Skating Club of Boston.
And we don't see any rust here from the Holliston goalie, who has yet to play this season, but looks good early going.
Oh, he looks really good early on. Miles Kidd wins the draw for Norwood. Kidd now working against Julian Payne for Holliston. Trevor Fanara is there for support. And it looks like we'll have a stoppage. A little bit of a difference with some of these COVID rules. If you're the third man into a scrum, I think they're going to call the whistle relatively quickly here.
Absolutely, and with our physical game we've been having here, it seems we're going to have a couple whistles tonight on that one.
Yeah, we've had a lot of them early on. There's a block from one of the Holliston players, and they're able to get out of the zone. Working up is Cole Fernara, a freshman for Holliston. Jack Lydon, though, beats him to the puck. And Lydon will pass it along the boards, take a couple of strange bounces. And Norwood trying to work it against Rocco Mastrangelo, number 3. Puck comes
Miles
out of
Kidd.
the zone.
Miles Kidd will kind of take it out here, try and reset the attack.
Miles takes a hit from Trevor Fanara, number 5. And now returning the favor for the Mustangs.
Great shot by Matera there, but a block right on the doorstep.
Jared Shea keeps it in bounds as he gets into a little tussle with Fanara on the close side. And now Mastrangelo will bring it back the other way for Holliston. Tries to find Fanara. That pass goes just underneath his stick. And now putting it in deep is the freshman James Givens for the Panthers. Shot on goal goes a little bit wide of Bartuka from one of the senior captains, Christian Schneelock. Here's Ryan Dutcher, puts it on net. Stick save made by Bartuka. He turns it aside. Now Norwood coming down the sidelines. Here's
great
Ledger's shot on goal. Nice save by Quattromoni.
Great shot there by Ledger, who brought it up from the defense.
Seen that a lot from Kyle Ledger early this year. He is not afraid to take a shot from that defensive position. He gained the zone there and put a good one on Quattromoni. Jake Russo now battling against Spidorcia.
Ooh, good block there by Nick.
Puts it out. Battle between now Spidorcia and number 18, Hunter McElhaney. We've seen a lot from this line for Coach Mike Dutcher. Russo tried to keep that one in the zone, but eventually it gets out, and now Schneelock will battle against a couple Norwood players. Ledger delivers a hard hit into the boards, and Ed Carroll will go to give it chase for the Mustangs. A couple of players vie for it. That's Connor Lydon tangled up with McElhaney. Christian Schneelock keeps it in the zone. Norwood unable to get it out. Finally they do, and now Russo will gain the blue line. Russo with a shot on goal. Save made by Quattromoni.
Good shot by Russo there, short side, trying to catch the goalie.
Spidorcia tried to give that a second chance. And now here it come the other way. Ryan Dutcher goes down relatively hard as he tried to almost jump over the stick of Tolman.
Great play. Oh, physical play by Tolman there.
And it looks like the penalty will be called here. I think it looks like we're going to get a penalty against the Mustangs.
I think we might get some boarding called there, or at least a roughing call on Tolman. So this will be our first penalty of the game, and Tolman will go to the box.
Little bit of concern here. I think that was Ryan Dutcher that went down. He went hard into the boards as we see George Tolman go off. We hope Ryan's all right. 13:47 yet to go. That's the first penalty of today's contest. And Holliston will go on the power play.
And both teams will skate back to their bench here and give him some time to be evaluated.
Looks like Sean Dittmeyer will stay out for the Mustangs on the penalty kill. Talking things over with assistant coach Chris Folan. And a little bit of a hand there for Ryan Dutcher. Nice to see him being able to skate off on his own power right now as he crosses the blue line in the Norwood end.
We'll hope he's just a little bit shaken up here and that he'll return to the ice. Right now it appears so, but we'll see what Bob Barksdale, our trainer here, has to say.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get a look at Dutcher and see what's going on. Ryan, a defenseman that is not afraid to step up in the offensive end. We saw a lot of that the last time these two teams played, and really, even with the stick in his way, went right over that and continued to work hard and drew the penalty against Tolman.
Absolutely lost his balance a little bit there. Good job by Tolman by getting big and kind of getting in his way. And then the penalty was on right against the boards.
Coach Allen barking a couple things at the referee, trying to figure out who's going to be on the penalty kill for the Mustangs as Jack Lydon hops over the boards. It looks like he'll work the penalty kill along with number 19, Brian Mateer. Norwood also has number 9, Miles Kidd out there, and number 4, Kyle Ledger. On the power play for Holliston, we will have number 18.
And they'll have to be at their best here. Holliston has been dangerous for the first 10 minutes here, so we'll see what we have going forward.
And it looks like we're trying to get the scoreboard settled a little bit here. A little bit of confusion there as it's showing that Tolman's penalty has expired. So hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that.
As someone who's had to work the scoreboard for multiple sports, it is no easy feat. And we have Anne-Marie Bustler here in the box, so she'll try and get that squared away. But having done that last night for basketball, and basketball took away 3 wins last night for boys basketball, freshman, JV, and varsity, all taking away wins.
What a great night for Norwood hoops. And Anne-Marie does such great work. I believe she was around last night and doing a lot of work on the basketball sidelines, on the hockey sidelines. She is a treasure for Norwood.
Absolutely.
For Holliston on the power play, it looks like it'll be number 14, Kevin Ballowitz, centering the line. Julian Payne, number 13, is out there. It looks like number 18, Hunter McElhaney. Christian Schneelock, number 22. And I believe Jonah Feldman, number 6. Jonah had a goal in on Wednesday night's game.
A lot of goals in Wednesday night's game, and here we've had a quiet start so far. We'll see if one is going to kind of break this and they're going to start flying in. Also, we'll see how both teams kind of take the ice. We've had a little bit of longer stoppage than expected here with our technical difficulties with the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is trying to get this figured out. I believe it should be a 2-minute penalty against 24 Tolman, but scoreboard not quite showing that at the moment. Anyway, we are underway. Payne tried to take the shot but loses it. Nice work by Miles Kidd taking the puck away from him. Here comes Julian Payne again. Going down, trying to steal the puck is Mateer. And Norwood able to dump the puck in deep.
Great play by Ledger there. And Holliston will reset, take it out from behind the net.
Nice early work here for the Mustangs on the penalty kill. Now coming up with a shot on goal is blocked by Lydon. Nice play to divert the shot from Schneelock. And Holliston will have to regroup.
And can't quite get that one all the way to the net.
Is Miles Kidd now playing some aggressive defense. Kyle Ledger will backpedal a bit. Unable to get out of the zone. Schneelock lets a drive rip.
I think that one hit the ref a little bit. Might have hit him quite hard in the legs.
Norwood will get a change as they get their penalty kill line out there. Spadorcia is now back out there with Russo. Ledger stays on, and Jared Shea will round out the quartet for the Mustangs.
Doing a great job there to kill off about half the penalty. About 40 seconds left here in the penalty. Mustangs need to stay strong.
There's a deflection in the front of the net. And Bartuco will eventually make the save.
Great job by Bartuco covering that puck up there. A little bit of danger, puck deflected. Way to keep it in front of him.
That was a dangerous play near the front of the net. Holliston was closing in. They had a bunch of guys around there.
Holliston here having a few issues with the line change.
Yeah, they almost had 6 men on the ice to start this before the puck was dropped. And Coach Dutcher called back Feldman. The draw will be Ballowitz against Spadorcia. Now McElhaney into the side. Jared Shea working against the far ends. Comes back out.
Oh, we'll go 2-on-1 here.
Here's a chance for the Mustangs. Russo tries to move in, loses the handle. Spadorcia can't follow. Nice chance for the Mustangs on the penalty kill, though.
Yeah, trying to sneak one in shorthanded.
Always dangerous is this top line for the Mustangs.
And we have about 10 seconds here left to kill off this penalty.
Ed Carroll, number 28, is back out for the Mustangs as they're able to get Kyle Ledger a break. He did some nice work on that penalty kill as well. Here we will see this puck put in deep.
And our penalty hasn't ended here, so it looks like it's going to be a 5-minute.
It will be a longer one. Yeah, they put it in the guest column, so it kind of threw us a little bit. We apologize for that to our viewers at home. A little bit of confusion getting that penalty settled, but Tolman will continue to sit. So Norwood will have to do some hard work here to continue killing off the penalty. Now Broderick, one-timer to Mateer. He's unable to connect to get the shot off.
Mustangs have still looked dangerous here, even killing off this penalty.
Now Ledger back. Couple players move in for Holliston. Ledger dumps it in deep. Quattromoni does a nice job handling a bouncing puck behind the net. Broderick now applying pressure for the Mustangs. Tangle up against the boards. Mateer was involved there as well. Comes back out for Ledger. Ledger now dumps that one in deep. And Quattromoni will let his teammates battle for it. Broderick still on the offensive end for the Mustangs. Mateer goes down, and coming away with it, it appears to be Reese Duncan for Holliston.
Mateer's been great on this penalty kill, creating some offense, way to keep the puck in their zone.
Minute 37 left on the 5-minute penalty to George Tolman. That was the play that Ryan Dutcher went down on, but Dutcher is back out on the ice, number 20, as he plays it over to his teammate Julian Payne. Nice to see Ryan Dutcher out there, isn't it, Tyler?
Absolutely. Always worried about safety first and foremost here, especially with only a few games in the season. You want to make sure you're healthy for all of them.
Now here come the Mustangs. Shot on net is sticked aside by Quattromoni as he dumps it in deep. A little bit too far for Duncan as he and Feldman give chase for the Panthers. Now Jared Shea takes a hard hit from Duncan. Gets right back up though. Ed Carroll unable to control for Norwood. Here comes Dutcher. Makes a nice move to get around Miles Kidd, but now, that was Jake Russo from before. Shoots it wide of the net as Shea comes in to join the offensive attack. Russo trying to make something happen in front of the goal. Now gets another shot on net, but Quattromoni is there.
Russo
30 seconds left on the penalty.
Russo everywhere right now, and he'll come off the ice after a nice hard shift.
Nice work so far from Norwood, but 20 seconds still left on the penalty to Tolman. They still have some work to do. Spodorsha puts it on net. Blocker save is made by Quattromoni. And now we'll see if we can get one last chance for Holliston. Broderick now working along the sides. And he couldn't get that into play because Spodorsha was over the line, so the Mustangs will reset.
And we'll see Tolman back on the ice here.
Great penalty kill by the Mustangs. They kill off the 5-minute penalty to George Tolman.
That's a great play by the Mustangs. If you're Coach Allen, you have to be happy by your
team.
Here's
Spodorsha now with a chance. He moves in, and it's a goal!
We're going to have, I believe, Connor Lydon there on the goal.
Connor Lydon, number 20. Really nice work from the whole Mustang offense. Trying to make something happen as Spodorsha moved in, took the shot. Lydon was there to clean it up, and the Mustangs are on the board, 1-0.
Great finish by Lydon, and the boys have to be very excited to score that goal. Going right back to even strength and putting one away early.
They kill off the penalty. They come right back with a goal. Coach Allen has to love that.
And we're going to hope that the momentum shifts the Mustangs' way here for the last 8 minutes and 30 seconds we have here in the period, or the half.
Miles Kidd wins the draw back to Tolman, who's back out there on the ice. Almost touches it with a high stick in the air. Broderick is met by Dutcher. And now it will be Balowitz moving in behind the net for Holliston. Norwood tries to keep it in the offensive end. They do, but Kidd and Mateer quickly lose it to a Holliston player. And now Tolman will try to dump it in for Broderick. Here comes Kidd. Working again with Mateer, who dumps it in. It goes off the referee.
The refs are taking quite a bit of punishment out here today. It's unfortunate for them.
These refs have taken just as much of a beating as the players. And we'll have a couple changes for both teams. Looks like number 10, Sean Dittmeyer, who's getting some extended play today, will come back out. Coach Allen seems to like this line of Dittmeyer, Max Sharkey, and number 23, Jack Curran for the Mustangs. Jack Lydon and Jared Shea are the defensive pairing right now. James Givens doing some work along the board now for Holliston. Lydon now gets tussled up with Schneelock. A couple of Holliston players there playing ping pong with each other. Eventually it's Rocco Mastrangelo who gets it out of the zone. Jared Shea dumps it in deep. Nice move by the referee to get out of the way of the careening puck.
I think he's a bit scared to take another one today.
Yeah, he took a hard shot in his arm the last time. Max Sharkey, one of the seniors for the Mustangs, doing some work along the boards. Here's Givens, a freshman for Holliston. Tries to move it up for Hunter McElhaney. McElhaney also had a goal on Wednesday's contest. He gets a piece of that one, but not a clean block, and Curran plays it back now for Norwood. Jack Lydon now moving up with some speed. Lydon moves in, takes the shot. And I think that went off Julian Payne's stick, eventually gloved by Quattromoni.
And we'll get a line change here from both teams, Holliston and Norwood.
7 minutes to go here in the first half of action. Joe Panola, Tyler Gonsalves with you from the Skating Club of Boston. Third game in Norwood's beautiful new home rink.
One of the best rinks you'll see. With another couple rinks here on the side. So obviously the fans have not been able to come in here yet, but we have a figure skating rink and a speed skating rink. Figure skating rink's one of the biggest rinks I've ever seen, with lots of seats and a jumbotron.
They have 3 rinks here. This is quite an impressive facility. Norwood trying to battle now near the net. A couple of chances for them. Ed Carroll was one of the ones that started it off by throwing the puck on net. Here's Feldman now. Puts it just wide of the net as Spadorsha goes to chase it into the boards. Dutcher, though, keeps it in for Holliston. Now Feldman. Connor Lydon, who has the lone goal in today's contest, working against Feldman. Russo chips it out of the zone. A couple players get tangled up there as Bartuka plays it behind the net. And here's now Kyle Ledger trying to start things off for Norwood. Almost a costly turnover, but Ledger does a good job of clearing it out of the zone. Here's Dutcher. That one goes off the stick of George Gabriel, who's out there now for Holliston. Moving in on goal was number 9, Mitch Saporano. And the Mustangs will come back the other way. A couple players get tussled up. Feldman goes down. He's still on top of one of the Norwood players. And we'll have a whistle.
I'll be surprised here if we don't see a penalty on Holliston. With the
Nick
Holliston player all over Nick Spadorsha.
Nick Spadorsha was down, and he remained down on the ice as Feldman was just on top of him for a bit. And it looks like we'll see a penalty, and Feldman will go off for Holliston.
Nick did a good job there to battle, trying to keep the puck in traffic, and the Holliston player just kind of wrapped up on him and stays on top of him. So we'll see the first penalty on Holliston tonight.
First time on the power play for the Mustangs. It'll be Miles Kidd, Kevin Broderick, Kyle Ledger, Brian Mateer, and George Tolman for the Mustangs. George Gabriel will be on the kill for Holliston. He will be joined by Trevor Frenara, Ryan Dutcher, and it looks like Christian Schneelock. Coach Chris Folan calling to a couple of his players. It's got to be hard that not everyone is on the bench now, Tyler.
Yeah, I've talked to the players about this, boys and girls, and I think it's also tough for the excitement factor. These are two teams that like to get hyped up for big hits, for goals, and you have people kind of around, kind of almost like they're spectating.
Yeah, it was strange when we walked in earlier. It's almost like you have to walk through the locker room to almost get to the rink, as a lot of the players are kind of just very spread out, trying to maintain social distancing and deal with that in our COVID environment. There's a quick shot on net from Kidd after the draw, after the win on the draw. Mateer now doing battle against Trevor Frenara. Tolman keeps it in the zone. Bouncing pass over to Ledger. Ledger fires on net. A nice shot.
Mustangs doing a good job getting traffic. Mustangs doing a good job of keeping some traffic in front of the net here on the power play.
They've got a lot of players in there trying to make something happen here on the power play after the penalty to Feldman. 90 seconds left on the power play for Norwood. There's a hard shot from Kevin Broderick. Kyle Ledger now moves in. Nice stick work there by Quattromoni, throws him off his game. Ledger, though, still working. Now Miles Kidd in deep for the Mustangs. Kidd will slow it down a little bit.
Ooh. Interesting little skip there off the Holliston player, but Quattromoni able to handle it easily, and we'll see a line change again here for the Mustangs. Couple of
chances there for Norwood. About half the penalty has expired so far, and it looks like Coach Allen will go with Jake Russo on the draw here. See Jack Lydon out there as well. Looks like Nick Spadorsha, Ed Carroll, and Connor Lydon as well.
And the Mustangs would love to get a second goal here early with only a couple of seconds under 5 minutes here in the first half.
Russo wins the draw against Balowitz. Carroll now plays it up. A couple players in deep. Shot on goal by Jack Lydon. Now Russo deals it to Connor Lydon. Back to Russo. Russo with a shot on goal. Following up is Connor Lydon, and that will go in.
That's Russo on that first shot, and Connor Lydon doing a great job to follow it up, and it'll be 2-0 here for the Mustangs.
Connor Lydon with his second goal of the contest puts Norwood up 2-0 with 4.5 minutes to go.
I talked to Brian Matera before the game, and he said to bring my hat. Someone might score a hat trick today. Will Lydon pull it off here? We'll see.
Let's see if that happens. Really nice work there on Norwood. They get the power play goal, and it is 2-0. Jack Lydon now still in the game, working on defense with Ed Carroll. Nick Spadorsha takes a hit from Christian Schneelock. We saw some good physical play from Schneelock the last time these two teams met, only 4 days ago. Now moving into the zone, it's number 14, Balowitz. Gets tangled up a little bit with Carroll. Spadorsha tries to work it against Dutcher, but Dutcher does a good job of standing his ground. Dutcher now moving in with Balowitz to Dutcher. Nice play there by Ed Carroll to divert that chance, but Holliston keeps it in the zone. Here's a drive by Saporano. Norwood trying to clear it out. They finally do. And we'll have a line change for Norwood.
Oh, it's a great defensive play by Shea.
Jared Shea moved in to divert that chance. Good play by the senior for the Mustangs.
Holliston play looked like he was in on goal there, but Shea did a great job to get into the way.
Now Norwood will try to go back the other way. Here is Sharkey. Dishes it off. Good shot by Dittmeyer. Sharkey now dishes it for Dittmeyer again, but a couple of Holliston players are there, including James Givens. Now Jack Curran doing some work for Norwood. Kicks it back out for Ledger. Ledger with the shot on goal. Thrown aside. Here's a chance for Norwood now. Curran put it on net again, and this one will go out and we'll have an icing.
Mustangs, strong play even after scoring the goal. No letdown here from them. Great to see. We have about 2:55 left in the first half, and the Mustangs wanting to get one more before this half wraps up.
That's the definition of keeping the foot on the gas, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, after a 7-goal output on Wednesday, you're trying to match that here on Saturday.
Miles Kidd now working in with Brian Mateer. We've seen the two of them around the puck a lot this game. And now Kevin Broderick eventually comes away with it. Out to Shea. Jared Shea takes the shot on goal, and it's covered up by Quattromoni.
And we'll have to give Quattromoni another shout out here. He's looked strong. He's faced quite a few shots. Both goals coming off rebound attempts. So he's done well to keep the puck in front of him.
As we mentioned at the top, Tyler, the 8th grader, Wesley DeMonica, played last night for Holliston, and really that's a tough situation to be thrown in, almost an impossible one, but he did a really respectable job. Shout out to him, serving as the emergency keeper essentially for the Panthers.
Absolutely. I think the coaches were very proud of him and very happy and fortunate not to have to put in one of their defenders or forwards in net.
I keep referring to it last night, even though it was 4 nights ago, but with these homestands, or with these home and homes so close together, it almost feels like it. Now Mateer looking for a player. He turns around after not finding what he wants. A little bit of a give and go. Mateer puts a shot on net, and he continues to go chasing after it. Now working against Mastrangelo. Here's Cole Fernara. Nice little movement there by Broderick to keep the puck in the zone. Pass to Kidd. Kidd puts a shot on net. Goes down.
And we're going to have a penalty here. It looks like on Holliston.
It looks like a holding call. And we'll see who it will be against. Norwood will go on the power play.
Kidd does a great job to get the shot off there, and it looks like he was grabbed after and wasn't able to corral that rebound.
The penalty will go against number 13, Julian Payne. And the Mustangs will have another opportunity after capitalizing on their last power play chance.
And it looks like we'll have Russo, Spadorsha, Connor Lydon, Jack Lydon, and Eddie Carroll out here.
2 minutes, 7 seconds left. Only 7 seconds of difference between the game clock and the time on the penalty to Payne.
And the Mustangs will look to press here.
Let's see if they can add to their total. Russo back to the freshman Carroll. Puts it on net, and a good tip attempted by Leiden, who's looking for his third goal of the contest.
And Leiden's been really active here early, always around the net.
He's been trying to clean up, and credit to his teammates also for putting him in situations that he's able to capitalize like that.
And it's great to see him putting in the work. Quite a skilled player, but doing it in all aspects of the game today.
Spadorsha wins the draw against Gabriel. Carroll now over to Russo, back to Carroll. Thought about putting it to the open man on the far side, but instead gets it back to Russo. Carroll will try to keep it in, but the puck will get out of the zone. Coach Allen wanted that to stay in the zone, but Norwood will have to regroup. Minute and 30 seconds left to go here on the penalty to Julian Payne for Holliston. Coming in with a head of steam is Jack Leiden. Leiden now will work against James Givens behind the net. Now Givens meets another Norwood player, and Leiden again finds himself with the puck. This one indeed. Quattromoni handles it behind the net. Nice play by Leiden to keep that in. Passes it over to Connor Leiden as Jake Russo comes in. Russo with a second to breathe. Now back out for Carroll. Carroll with another drive on goal. Spadorsha almost tried to jump out of the way of that shot. I think it might have gotten a piece of him. And there's another drive from Jack Leiden. This line doing a lot of work on the power play. About 40 seconds left on it.
And doing a great job keeping it in the Holliston zone. Trying to create that chance.
Here's Carroll with another drive. Block is made by Dutcher. Now a couple players involved. Connor Leiden tried to keep that one in play, but Holliston does a good job getting it out.
And we'll see a switch here by the Mustangs for this last 30 seconds.
20 seconds on the power play, 25 seconds left in the game. Here's Broderick trying for a last-ditch chance, and we'll have an offsides as he and Mateer were unable to sync up their movement of the puck there.
Mateer doing his best to kind of straddle the line there, and just unable to do it.
10 seconds left on the penalty to Payne, 17 seconds left on the clock.
And we'd love to see the Mustangs get at least one more attempt here.
Miles Kidd wins the draw, but the faceoff goes real deep, and George Tolman now will try to give Norwood their last gasp chance here in the first half to put up a goal. 9 seconds left. Holliston dumps it in deep. Giving chase will be Ledger, and that will be the end of the first half. So after one half of action, as weird as that seems to say, from the Skating Club of Boston, it is the Norwood Mustangs 2, the Holliston Panthers 0. We'll be right back with more after these. Welcome back, everyone, to our intermission report. Joe Panola alongside Tyler Gonsalves. Tyler, a great first half of action, and coming out of it, the Norwood Mustangs with a 2-0 lead. Got to be happy if you're a Mustang fan.
Yeah, Mustang fans have to be happy. We have 2 goals here early from Connor Leiden. He's looked great, done a great job of being in and around the net. And the Mustangs have also looked good on the penalty kill and on the advantage.
Yeah, about a quarter of that first half was played on the penalty kill for the Mustangs, and yet they come out of it with a 2-0 lead. So the penalty kill worked out great. There was a penalty early on against George Tolman, and Norwood does a great job of killing it off and coming right back with the first of 2 goals for Connor Leiden.
Yeah, Mustangs did a great job of transitioning there. So they spend that 5 minutes with a man down, and then the second they get back to even strength, they're able to put one away early. They are now 1-for-1 on the penalty kill, and they are 1-for-2 on the power play. So looking good early.
Looks like we got the Zamboni rider out here wearing the classic Norwood sweater. That's always a nice thing to see. A little bit of a throwback back to the Badgco rink.
And nice for the Mustangs to have a fan here at home besides the 2 of us.
That's it. And so we're bummed you can't be here, obviously, in person, but glad you can join us here on NCM. As for Holliston, Tyler, They played really hard there. We saw a lot of aggressive play. Ryan Dutcher went down earlier. Was nice to see him come right back into the game. But they find themselves in a 2-0 hole, not insurmountable with 22 and a half minutes to go here in the second half. But if you're Coach Mike Dutcher, what are you saying to your team right now?
I think that Holliston needs to come out here and put some more pucks on the net. They did a good job of it early, but then on the power play, they weren't really able to take advantage for that 5 minutes. I think that was a little bit deflating to them.
It was an early power play as well, and Holliston, as we mentioned in the open, this is only their second game of the season. Norwood has already played 5 contests. They're 2-3 this year. But Holliston's first experience was just recently on this past Wednesday, and that was with an emergency goaltender in net. So a lot to figure out, and perhaps they did get that early power play opportunity, but perhaps their next time, if they have the man advantage, we'll see something different.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to do something to kind of switch it up and create more offense when they are on the power play. The other thing that the Mustangs need to do a better job of is kind of taking advantage of some of these shots. We've tried to miss a few deflections. It'd be great to kind of score off one of these deflections. We've had a lot of shots.
They've really done a nice job of getting a lot of players into that offensive end, and their power play looked fantastic, really capitalizing on opportunities. And Coach Allen has been into it. He's been energetic. He's been very loud, and he has to like that power play strength from his team.
I think he has to be happy about just the overall performance of the team. I also believe this would be the first home win of the year if we can get this win here at home today.
It is also weird that we are playing these teams back to back. This is the second match in just 4 days against Holliston. The team will then play Westwood. In fact, I believe they play Westwood 4 times this season, as they'll have a home and home, then separated by a couple matches, I believe, against Ashland, and then back against Westwood. Something that is almost feels like it's ripped from baseball. How do you think that goes over? What kind of changes do you think we'll be seeing based on that kind of a schedule quirk?
I think, like you made note of during the game, it's very reminiscent of like a playoff series, and it's tough to kind of make those changes and advantages for like each match. There's very little time, very little skating, ice time between games. So I think the preparation is tough on that second day. How are you going to prepare for a team that you just faced? And when you've taken the loss early in the week, yes, I think a couple of hits are going to carry over. You definitely want a little bit of revenge, but can you get yourself up for that game just 3 days later?
I saw a couple of the kids in the Norwood team coming in, and I said, does this feel strange to you guys that you're going up against a team that you just met, and perhaps there were tensions on the ice with a couple hard hits or anything like that? Obviously nothing boiling over from Wednesday. But the kids said they loved it, which I thought was an interesting response. They loved the chance to go right back out there. But the other side of that coin, too, is that they're not going to see Holliston anymore after today.
Right, I think especially for our seniors with the short season and you play these teams, you got to kind of take advantage of every shift you have on the ice. It's unfortunate here with COVID that we're going to have a short season, especially for the seniors that your parents can't really be involved. And like we've made note, it's just tough for the parents. Hopefully we get some cardboard cutouts here next week. We'd love to see some faces in the stands.
We've seen those cardboard cutouts at the basketball game. The Spirit Club has done such a good job in really a tough environment for them. You know, they're usually so involved with pep rallies, things like that at Norwood High School, and they're trying to make the best of this situation. We saw the fan cam at a couple of the basketball games. We saw the cardboard cutouts in the stands, but here the energy is still here, and the teams are really bringing it as they come back out on the ice.
And I'd say as well for the fans, it's much different. I know that as a school, basketball Friday nights, hockey Saturdays are absolutely vital to the students. This is their social interaction, and they're sad to be missing it as well.
They love to be out here. They're just happy to have a season, as we were talking about earlier. And we're happy to bring it to you here on NCM. We hope you're enjoying the coverage. NCM will have all of the Norwood Mustangs athletic games. In fact, I believe we have a JV hockey game coming up tomorrow, and then a couple games after that during the week as our basketball teams will get back in action. And swim and dive is currently in season. Gymnastics had a meet last night, so nice to see all the teams from Norwood playing despite all of these strange pandemic rules.
Absolutely, it's great to see the teams playing, and I think there's nothing more that the kids can be happy about. It's just great. We were very worried about getting any sports even started to start the year.
And that's been a big credit to the athletic director as well, John Longley.
And I know John's done a great job of kind of keeping all the teams prepared, being in touch with coaches, talking to them about rules, changes, protocols. He's been really great about his communication.
Shout out to really all the athletic directors in the TVL. They've worked with us really well here on NCM and are really kind of putting together a good product. So the ice is freshly minted from the Zamboni. Again, as we mentioned, nice to see the Norwood sweater on there. And the teams will get themselves ready. Nico Quattromoni in goal to our left. The teams, Tyler, will not switch halves or switch ends of the ice. That's something new this year as well.
That is something new, and I think it definitely benefits both teams. Like we talked about earlier, with players being kind of outside, no one can fit on the bench, players being up against the glass.
Obviously, a lot of that done in the name of safety, trying to limit the surfaces that are touched by both teams and the respective players. So Norwood will stay on their bench. Holliston will stay on theirs. Norwood will start this second half of action with their top line, Jake Russo, Nick Spadorsha, Connor Lydon, who has 2 goals, Jack Lydon on defense, and Jared Shea. For Holliston, Kevin Balowitz centers a line with Hunter McElhaney. We get a quick whistle here.
Great play by Nick there to kind of test the goalie to start this half. Make sure he's still ready from the first.
Hey, there you go, putting it on net, kind of saying that we're still here. Looks like Jonah Feldman is also out on the ice. We also see number 4, James Givens for Holliston, and if I'm not mistaken, Mitch Saporano.
And the ref here saying something.
Talking with a couple of players. Excuse me, that's Julian Payne on the ice, not Mitch Saporano. This one dumped in deep. Connor Lydon, the first to get there. Gives it for his other assistant captain, Nick Spadorsha. His puck goes in deep, right on goal, and Quattromoni pushes it aside. Nifty move there by Nico to kind of throw that around the back of the net.
And you have to wonder if he's brought a sense of confidence to these Holliston defenders. After giving up 7 goals on Wednesday, I think he's brought like a little air of confidence here.
Well, you know what, 7 goals, as we mentioned earlier, tough environment for that backup goaltender to come into, really the emergency goaltender. And I was talking with one of the Holliston assistant coaches earlier, and he was saying that's a tough spot that they were in, but the kids did a good job of working hard despite the circumstances, as we'll get an offsides.
And we'll have a line change here as well. Our second line will come on here.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin Broderick, Miles Kidd, and Brian Mateer will be on the ice for Norwood. Ed Carroll and Kyle Ledger will get their first shift for the second half on defense.
Mateer, nice physical hit there.
That's against Caden Gallagher, getting his first action of the game for Holliston. Here's Reese Duncan now. Duncan wearing number 24. Now a chance in front of the net for Christian Schneelock, pushed aside by Bartuka. There's a big hit from Broderick. And it looks like we're going to get a whistle here. And I believe Kevin Broderick will go off, and the penalty will be against Norwood, and we'll get an early chance here to see Holliston's power play.
So we'll have the Mustangs short-handed here once again. This one looks like it's only going to be 2 minutes, not that 5-minute major we had to hear. And I'd also like to take the time to shout out Brendan Bartuco, who's looked great here in the first half. We've been spending plenty of time talking about Holliston's goalie. That's Nico Quattromoni. But Brendan Bartuco here kept Holliston off the board.
Real nice job by Brendan. Now Norwood will try to have to kill off the penalty after a hit to the head by Kevin Broderick. So Holliston will go to work on the power play. Kyle Ledger, though, gets it right out of the Norwood end, and Holliston will have to go back and reset. Holliston has Julian Payne alongside Jonah Feldman. They also have Hunter McElhaney on the ice. Here is Kevin Balowitz, who gains the zone, and Christian Schneelock, number 22. And here's the pass over. Schneelock just missed a chance. Bartuca was able to slide over just in time.
Great save by Bartuca there to keep Holliston off the board.
Good play there by Miles Kidd to get that out of the zone, and Norwood will get a little bit of an early change on the penalty kill. George Tolman remains out on the ice. He is joined by Sean Dittmeyer, Jack Lydon, and that looks like Max Sharkey jumping into action as well. Now Balowitz comes in, dumps it off, a little bit of a miscommunication between a couple players. And now here's Dittmeyer. Dittmeyer, a 2-on-1, gets it over, and a glove save is made. What a save by Quattromoni. He denied Sharkey.
There on the line. Great save, like you're saying. Max Sharkey robbed there on the line. A nice 2-on-1, trying to get that shorthanded goal.
Holliston player went down, trying to get the block on Dittmeyer and cutting off his angle. Sean made a beautiful pass to Max Sharkey, but Quattromoni, the senior captain and goaltender, was right there. Holliston trying to make something happen. 48 seconds remain on the penalty to Kevin Broderick for a hit to the head. Now chasing in deep is Connor Lydon. Holliston will keep their main power play on ice. This one goes off the stick of Kevin Balowitz and goes wide. Norwood, though, unable to clear the zone as Holliston keeps it in. Bartuca tries to cover up. He can't. Tolman doing some work against Schneelock behind the net. And now Tolman puts it around the boards. This one, though, goes out of the zone, and Holliston will have to come back to touch up. 13 seconds left on the penalty to Broderick. This one goes off the stick of Feldman. And now Dittmeyer. Sean goes down to the ice. What great work Sean Dittmeyer just did on that penalty kill as Norwood kills it off.
Absolutely, a little bit off balance there, but still manages to dump it for the line change going into even strength.
Norwood now putting a new combination of players on the ice. We see Nick Spadorsha out there. Number 24, George Tolman, remains on the ice. That's Jack Curran, number 23, who's now skating alongside Spadorsha and Russo. Here's Hunter McElhaney. Kyle Ledger up close against him, got his stick tussled up. And George Gabriel gains the zone for Holliston, but it quickly comes right back out. Holliston makes a change. Spadorsha gets an active stick on that puck and almost turns that into a chance for the Mustangs. Ledger.
Connor here with the puck.
Here's Leiden. Shot on goal and a blocker save by Quattromoni.
And Leiden's definitely going to want that third here in the second half.
You were saying earlier, Tyler, that the Mustangs are talking about, hey, maybe we need to get some hats ready for them. And Connor Leiden has shown a lot of effort here as we start this second half.
Absolutely, and you and I have both come prepared with ours. We'll see.
And a glove save is made by Quattromoni. And even 18 minutes remain here in the second period of action. And Norwood Hockey would like to thank a couple of our sponsors this season. Our Silver Mustang sponsor, as we mentioned earlier, with a donation of $1,000, is Vincent D'Iorio. Vinny is a super fan of Jake Russo, and he watches all of Jake's games. Thanks to Vinny, we hope you're watching at home, and we hope you just saw that goal. It looked like it was slid over to Kevin Broderick, and I believe he will get credit with the goal.
Absolutely, and we'll see if Mateer can sneak in the credit on the assist there. Trying to get that puck across, and Broderick finishes right there.
Really nice work from the Mustangs. Broderick taps the glass to his teammates that are on the far side, and he makes sure that he also gets some high five from Brendan Bartuka in net. Really nice work for the Mustangs. They could take a 3-0 lead. That line will stay out there. Kidd loses the draw, and James Givens now kicks it over. George Tolman has had a lot of ice time in this second half. He is still out there, number 24. Jared Shea now works it inside. Broderick, who just had that goal, throws it in, and covering up is Quattromoni.
Quattromoni will cover it up there, kind of give his team a little respite here with the Mustangs all over them early going here in the second half.
We didn't mention earlier our second of the main Mustang sponsors, our bronze Mustang sponsor with a donation of $500. That was Robert Dempsey, class of 1969 of Robert Dempsey Insurance. So thanks a bunch to Bob, and we hope you're watching as well at home today. So again, thanks to both of our Mustang donors, the Silver Mustang sponsor, Vincent D'Iorio Incorporated, and Robert Dempsey Insurance as well. Miles Kidd will take the draw here again. Here's Tolman. We've mentioned he's been on the ice a ton. Throws that one on net. Broderick almost tipped it in. And we'll get another whistle.
And Tolman would love to score here for the second game in a row after scoring his first 2 goals of his career on Wednesday.
He looks really good on defense, and Norwood hoping to keep this up. Coach Allen really likes this line. He's been giving them a little bit of some run here. Miles Kidd now throwing a check, and Mateer throws a hard check behind the net. Here's the pass in. Mateer didn't quite see it in time, but now he does a good job of coming back. Tolman now plays it off the boards, looking for Broderick, doesn't get there. Jared Shea gets tied up a little bit. Tolman helps him out, and Norwood will get it out of the zone. 17:22 left to go here in the second half of action. Norwood holding a 3-0 lead against the Holliston Panthers. Now behind the net, it's Miles Kidd, over for Jared Shea. Shea puts it on net. Holliston able to stick aside that chance, though, and they come back up the way with Jonah Feldman. Feldman leading the trio with Kevin Balowitz and Hunter McElhaney, and we'll get another whistle. Not
sure we have here for a whistle. We're going to get a line change from both teams.
It'll be wholesale for both of them. 5 players coming off. Those players were on the ice for Norwood for an extended time.
Yeah, and like we've talked about with these halves, it's a lot more time on the ice.
Taking the draw for Holliston will be George Gabriel. Gabriel wins the draw against his opponent, Thomas Dooley, number 11, and Bartuka covers up. Nice to see Thomas Dooley on the ice, one of the seniors in the Mustang team, currently with their banners hanging next to our scoreboard.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a great takeaway from the seniors at the end of the year. Perfect to put up in your room, maybe even your dorm room at college.
Dooley will take a seat as Jake Russo takes that face-off. Now Jack Curran along the near boards. Curran battling with a couple players. Player loses their stick. And heading to the sideline is Curran, as that was his stick that came loose. Player goes down for Holliston, and now Holliston moving in. Caden Gallagher looking to connect on the pass with Reese Duncan. He can't, but Holliston still with a chance. Max Sharkey now trying to get out of the zone.
Hit.
Big hit from Sharkey on Gallagher.
There's going to be a deflection there, so no icing. Big hit there by Sharkey.
Looks like the Norwood bench wanted a penalty on that as well against the Holliston player who's getting up. Now some work for Russo. Another stick is down on the ice. Spadorsha trying to work in there as well. Spadorsha had an assist earlier in today's contest. Here's a chance.
Wow, what a save by Quattromoni.
Oh, he tumbled over, almost looked like a gymnast. Russo had a little bit of daylight, but Jake did a nice job putting that on net, but the Holliston goaltender was ready for it.
Yeah, Jake trying to flip it over there, but like you said, acrobatic save there. Also at this time, the Friends of Norwood Mustangs would like to shout out people who have donated $100 or more. We have in memory of Richard O'Gorman, super fan of Brian Mateer, Carroll Advertising, John Carroll, class of 82, Red Rooster Bar and Grill, Zamito Insurance, and we'll shout out the rest when we come back.
Absolutely. Thanks to those sponsors, and there are more where that came from. Kyle Ledger with a shot on net.
Perfect timing. So for the rest of our sponsors, Dedham Savings Bank, the Bank of Canton, Poirier Sales and Service, Pediatric Associates of Norwood and Franklin, Friends of Norwood Hockey, the Spadorsha family, and again, Edward Figueroa of EF Digital Printing, who gave us these wonderful banners that are up here at the new rink.
Thanks a bunch to our Norwood Hockey sponsors, as they really keep the action going here on the ice. They really are the lifeblood of hockey here in Norwood. There's a chance there as Russo tried to tip that in front of the net. Ledger tries to keep it into the zone, but he can't. Now a chance coming back the other way, a 2-on-2. Rocco Mastrangelo doing some work for Holliston.
And Ledger doing great jobs for a cover there, with possible advantage there for Holliston with 3-on-2.
He hustled right back on there, and Ledger also will go to field that puck as Bartuka passes it along to him. This one comes back out of the Norwood zone. Holliston with Givens. Almost losing his balance was Trevor Fenara, but he gains the balance again, and now this one put on net. Quattromoni dips it aside and leaves it for Mitch Saporano. Here's Cole Fenara. Gets a little bit of a shove from Ed Carroll, another freshman. Nice to see the freshmen getting both freshmen getting some significant ice time for their respective teams.
Absolutely. Always nice to get action on varsity as a freshman, and bright future there for both those players.
Some physical play on the boards near the Holliston goal between Russo, Spadorsha, and a couple of the Holliston players. Norwood will get a change. A big hit from Miles Kidd. Wow, and we heard the couple folks in attendance today really appreciate that hit. And this one will it go over the line? I believe it did. They're calling it a goal. Norwood has put up their 4th goal of the contest, and they lead 4-0.
And that's going to be Kevin Broderick once again, his 2nd of the game. And our boys here are not dressed, very fired up here on the end of the stands, along with the rest of us.
Kevin Broderick making sure to give some love to his very long bench, also to his goaltender. And Kevin has 2 goals this half.
So this line now stepping up and matching the first line. You love to see it here, production for your first and second line. And I'll shout out Joe Demeray standing here at the end, who's very fired up for his teammate.
Nice to see that. Joey Demeray really appreciating the work that the Mustangs are putting in on the ice. And for Kevin Broderick, 2 goals in this contest. He missed the opener here at the Skating Club of Boston, but he's becoming quite used to his surroundings here. This one, I believe, might have hit the top of the glass. Maybe it hit the netting.
We have 2-on-1 or 2-on-2.
Here's a chance now for Kidd moving in, and he scores!
Mustangs on a roll here. Kidd with the goal. Another goal for the second line. That'll be our 5th goal of the game for the Mustangs.
Miles Kidd, a beautiful shot on the 2-on-1. He gave a quick look over to Broderick, who's coming down center ice, and Kidd just took the shot himself and went top shelf on Quattromoni. A really nice goal from Miles Kidd.
Absolutely. Great job putting it top shelf.
So the junior adds to the Mustang lead, 5-0 here with 13:55 to go. And now the Mustangs will put out the line of Dittmeyer, Sharkey, and Jack Curran. Holliston will get back to work, trying to keep up the energy, down 5 goals.
And the Mustangs will love this momentum here in the second half, about halfway through.
Now a turnover in the middle of the ice. Schneelock comes in. I wasn't sure if he thought he was offsides or not. And the puck is sticked away. Some danger in the front of the net. Diverted for Norwood, and now Sharkey comes back the other way with a couple of his line mates. Max Sharkey moves in on net. Controlling it, still behind the net. Sharkey thinks about dishing it over to defender, and now we'll have to rush back.
A little miscommunication there, but the Mustangs do a great job of getting back on defense once again.
Credit again.
Transition's been excellent.
Credit again to Sharkey and to Brendan Gillis, who was right there on defense, who's entered the game. Now Jack Lydon coming in. Lydon moves on goal, tries to go 5-hole. Quattromoni closes that up and makes sure that wasn't an opening.
And Lydon's looked great here on defense, especially here when he's brought it up on the rush. Excellent skater.
And let's see, it looks like we'll have a penalty here. I'm sorry, not a penalty on this one. A couple teams will change lines, and the faceoff will be back down on near the Norwood crease to the right of Bartuka. Kevin Balowitz on the draw for Holliston. Gets it over to Payne, who takes a big hit there from Jonathan Desmarais, number 22, who's in the game. A little bit of a mad scramble near the net, and eventually Bartuka covers up. Thomas Dooley was there to help out defensively for the Mustangs.
And Bartuka doing a great job of seeing that with quite a lot of traffic there in front of the net.
Nice to see a couple other players getting a chance for Norwood. Kyle Cahill, number 8, is out on the ice as well. Dooley will take the draw against Balowitz, so we'll have a rematch of the draw we just saw. Gillis will sub off after doing a nice job on defense. Ed Carroll now. He is paired with Kyle Ledger on the Norwood defense. Ledger tries to work it up to Cahill. This one is pushed aside by Bartuka. Now the Mustangs coming back the other way. This one goes off of Carroll's stick. The Holliston player guarding him goes down. Cahill gives a shove to one of the Holliston players.
And Norwood still can get their hits in here in the second half.
They are not letting up a whole lot. Thomas Dooley goes down, pops right back up. Here comes Balowitz into the Norwood zone. Number 14 fires, and Bartuka covers up with 12:10 left to go.
Today. It's been an absolute wall. Keeping Holliston off the board.
About halfway through this first half, Brendan has played marvelously, and Norwood has him partly to thank for their 5-0 lead so far in this contest. But still, a lot of time, Tyler, left to go.
A lot of time left to go, and Holliston still look dangerous here. They have not let the 5-goal deficit kind of get in the way of their mentality. They've come out strong.
No, credit to them that they're still fighting, and Coach Mike Dutcher has to be happy about that. Spodorcha now gives it up for Rousseau. Norwood back with their top line out. Rousseau will attempt to go against a couple Holliston players, puts it on net, and Quattromoni makes the glove save.
And Quattromoni faced quite a lot of shots tonight as well. And unfortunate to kind of giving up these 5 goals, but the Mustangs have just looked great on offense here. Created a ton of chances, ton of shots on net.
You were saying earlier, Tyler, that the Mustang players were saying in the hallways that they felt really good about the work they were putting in this week, and it shows right now.
Absolutely. I think the players are just really excited, gaining confidence with each game. Very short preseason, something they're not used to, and some of them probably haven't skated in a while. We have a lot of year-round skaters, but tough to get that time in with COVID.
Absolutely, but also nice that we now have this nice new rink here in Norwood. I'm sure that'll help ease that. Jared Shea takes a hard hit down behind the net. It was delivered by number 5, Trevor Fernara. He's back out there with Cole Fernara and Rocco Mastrangelo, number 3. Number 9, Mitch Saporano, and number 4, James Givens, also on the ice for Holliston. Connor Lydon is back out on the ice. He's got 2 goals tonight. Both of those are in the first half. Looking to put a hat trick on his resume during this pandemic season.
And Lydon, just a sophomore, so he'll be here for the future. Brother is senior, and it's kind of be nice to play with your brother.
We've seen the 2 of them sharing the ice a lot today as well. Mateer now dumps it off for George Tolman. And now here's Kevin Broderick looking for his third.
Oh, it's great
Broderick,
move.
nifty move to get around Givens. Still maintains control. Kind of pushes Cole Fernara aside. Now he comes in, middle of the ice.
It's a hat trick!
Kevin Broderick has a hat trick for the Mustangs, and it is 6-0.
Looks like the boys predicted it once again. We have our first hat trick here. We have a couple people on 2 goals. We'll see. Maybe we'll have multiple.
Kevin Broderick had that puck for probably a good 5 to 10 seconds. Eventually found the shot he wanted, and his teammates love it as he skates on down the side. Puts his glove to the glove of his goaltender, and he will head to the bench. Really nice work from the sophomore number 12, and the players who aren't dressed for the Mustangs, they love it as well.
Oh, they're fired up, and you have to say, like you're saying, Broderick, a great piece of skill and strength to keep that puck there.
Yeah, he maintained possession for a while, and I said Broderick was going to go to the bench. He's not. He's staying out there.
This line's been hot. We'll see. We'll keep him in here.
They've had a lot of ice time, this line of Broderick, Mateer, and Miles Kidd, working really well together. Here's the man himself, Broderick with 3 goals. Tries to move it past George Gabriel. Eventually does. Mateer does a nice job of making sure that's not an offsides. And now going into the corner to fight for it is Caden Gallagher for Holliston. Jack Lydon unable to keep it in. He's on defense now with Brendan Gillis, number 15. Now Lydon with a head of steam. Checked by Christian Schneelock. Cameron Payne now. Julian Payne now with the puck. And Miles Kidd brings it back for Norwood.
Miles doing a great job to track back there as a forward.
Miles, a very good defensive forward. We've seen that a lot this season. And his line has also really taken off this game. Be exciting to see what he has in store for us next year during his senior season. Here's Mateer. Now losing the puck is Broderick, and this one will be a goal.
Wow. That's going to be barred down there by number 24, Rice Duncan. That's a great goal. Nothing Brendan can do. Kind of going glove side there.
Beautiful, strong shot from Reese Duncan, and that puts Holliston on the board 6-1.
I'm going to say with the Mustangs, you're going to be unhappy here. They definitely want to keep that shutout, so we'll kind of see how they respond with about 9 minutes and 24 seconds here to play in the second half.
Yeah, it's a source of pride for your team defense and your goaltender. Take nothing away from the job the Mustangs have done tonight, but nice to see Holliston still fighting, and Duncan lights the lamp as he gets the goal. Winning the draw for Holliston is one of their seniors, Kevin Balowitz. Balowitz, one of the senior captains for this Holliston team. Christian Schneelock, the goaltender Nico Quattromoni, and the junior Ryan Dutcher round out the captain quartet for Holliston. Jack Curran moves on goal, and Quattromoni decides, you know what, I'd rather see a face-off, and he freezes it.
So we'll kind of see how the Mustangs respond here. The first time they've given up a goal today. They've been great when they've scored goals and kind of piling them on, but we'll see how they respond for this last 9 minutes.
Dittmeyer against Balowitz on the draw. Dittmeyer eventually wins it, but pushes it over to the side, and here comes Jonah Feldman. Loses the puck, and now Dutcher, who's on defense currently with James Givens, will pass it on up. Kevin Balowitz now. Balowitz goes down as Dittmeyer comes sliding in. And now along the far end for Givens. Plays it along the boards. Here's the junior captain, Ryan Dutcher. This puck will go in, and Norwood will touch on up, and we will head back down to the other end of the ice.
And we'll see if we see a few more players kind of slide here towards the end of this half. We'll see how the ice holds up.
Yeah, you made a point, Tyler, earlier about the fact that normally we're so used to just those 3 periods. Now we have the 2 halves. And so this ice is taking quite a beating. It was Zamboni at halftime as
Absolutely,
usual.
and a little bit warmer here than you usually feel in the rink. Usually we're here freezing, and you and I kind of enjoying the temperature of this building, which is not something I can say for all the rinks we've been in.
I don't think you were quite ready for that. You look like you're ready for the Arctic. This one will go up really high. Giving chase is Jared Shea behind the net. Jared's played a nice physical game today on defense. He's currently paired with Tolman. Tom Dooley is out there for Norwood along with Kyle Cahill. And it looks like Jonathan Demaray, number 22. So Coach Allen getting a lot of his players a chance here. Now Demaray, far side, dumps this one up. Giving chase now is Julian Payne, as a couple from that line will sub off. Kyle Cahill with an active stick in the Holliston end. Holliston able to still dump it in, though. Now Tolman.
Great play by Tolman there, who's looked great all night. And let's see if we can start a little offensive surge here.
I'm sure George Tolman is tired. He's had a lot of ice time, and certainly not easy to continue working that hard, especially through these really, really long halves. There's a nice active stick from Jonathan Demaray, able to take that away from Holliston, and now they'll dump and chase, but they won't really get the chase part.
And the puck will come back here to the Holliston end.
7:36 to go here in the second half. 6-1 Norwood lead. Tyler, the Mustangs have come out fighting, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing more you could want from your coach coming out of half, or as a coach coming out of half, than this little explosion of 4 goals we've seen here.
Chuck Allen has been here for a while at the Norwood helm, and his team's now really starting to gel. Giving some good chase is Brendan Gillis as he gets hit hard into the boards. Now working against a couple players. George Gabriel is there for Holliston. James Givens calling for it.
We'll have Connor here.
Now here's Connor Lydon coming back the other way.
Oh, through Nick's legs.
Lydon over to
Nick.
Spidorcia, and that one will go just wide. Spidorcia tries to throw a prayer in front of the net, and Gillis will work to keep it in for Norwood.
And Connor, fancy bit of skating there, but trying to put Nick there on the board.
Here's Lydon again with a chance. Lydon keeps it, puts it on goal, and this one is pushed aside by the blocker of Quattromoni. Now coming in deep, it's Dutcher working against Lydon. Lydon really active. He wants that third one, you can tell. Jack Lydon now stands up. Trevor Fenara tries to give him a hard hit.
And
Lydon, a tough guy to bring down. Looks like we're going to have a delayed penalty here. Penalty will go against Holliston. Norwood will get the extra skater on the ice as Bartuka heads to the bench.
And they're going to try and set something up here with the man advantage.
Let's see what they're going to do, trying to get another goal. They move it around a whole lot. Now coming in is Mateer. He's with Spidorcia. Kidd is also in there, number 9. Mateer moves in against the goal. Still with possession for Norwood. Back out for Jack Lydon, keeps it in. Here's the pass coming on over to Russo. Russo puts it just wide of the net. Spidorcia was there. Here's another drive on the net, and it's eventually a glove save is made by Quattromoni, and now the penalty will go against Holliston.
Mustangs with only 5 minutes and 55 seconds here. We're going to look to put a few more on the board and hopefully take advantage of this power play. And we're going to see a goalie switch as well, it appears.
And it looks like the players on the Norwood sideline love it as Michael Walsh, a sophomore, enters the game in goal. And we'll see what Norwood decides to do here on the power play.
And we'll take our hats off to Brendan Bartuka with a great performance tonight, only giving up that 1 goal. And like we said, top shelf on a little turnover there in your own zone.
Just awesome work from Bartuka. That face-off goes flying sky high. Eddie Carroll will run it down for Norwood. Carroll now behind his own net. Michael Walsh takes a deep breath as he is in the game now for the Mustangs. Nice to see Coach Allen giving the sophomore a chance. All 3 goaltenders have played in this home and home. Ethan Barrows got the start on Wednesday. Bartuka relieved him. Bartuka got the start today. And Walsh now in the game. Here's a drive from Ed Carroll low, and Quattromoni quick to freeze the puck.
And we'll see Quattromoni pretty much freeze up everything here, especially with the power play going.
Minute and a half left on that penalty. Penalty was assigned to number 10, George Gabriel for Holliston. We're sorry we neglected to mention that earlier.
And as you mentioned, all 3 Mustang goaltenders getting play in this home and home series. Mustangs fortunate enough to have 3 goalies.
That's true. Ask Holliston about that, as they had to go to their emergency goaltender, Wesley DeMonica, who did a fantastic job in a really tough spot on Wednesday night. Tolman puts that one on net, almost a chance for Max Sharkey. Shea tries to keep it in play, doesn't, but he wisely gets that on over to Tolman. Tolman now dumps it in deep. Working hard is Schneelock. Avoids some contact with Dittmeyer. Now Tolman steps up with a chance, but Schneelock now drives that out of the zone.
Paulson here killed out of about half the penalty. We'll have 50 seconds left
Walsh gets his first touch, and the Mustangs on the sideline love it as we hear a little bit from them. They've been kind of our cheering section today, haven't they, Tyler?
Oh, they've brought the energy down there. They've gotten louder and louder as the game's gone on.
No fans, but Norwood will still do it anyway. A big hockey roster, and the folks we see on the side, they are loving it. 4:33 left to go here in the second half of action. 38 seconds left remain on the penalty to Gabriel, and there will be a face-off to the right of Quattromoni.
And the Mustangs looking to get one more here.
It'll be Tom Dooley taking the face-off for Norwood. Dooley loses it against Balowitz, and now the puck goes flying down the far end. Another touch for Michael Walsh as he leaves it for Jack Lydon. Hunter McElhaney gives some chase. Now Kyle Cahill working against the sideline against McElhaney. Gillis joins the defensive pressure. Lydon now over to Jonathan Demaray. Demaray, number 22. Trying to move out of the zone. Holliston, though, right on him. And he'll dump it in deep. Julian Payne, first there for Holliston, but he will have to battle against Dooley. Now here's Cahill. Cahill loses the puck as Norwood attempts to keep this offensive pressure. The penalty is over. Gabriel comes out of the box for Holliston. It looks like he did a quick sub as we see Jonah Feldman on the ice. Here's Thomas Dooley again, gains the zone for Norwood. Dooley puts it on net, and the save is made by Quattromoni. Three minutes, 30 seconds to go. Norwood with a 6-1 lead. Trying to even up their record at 3-3 after getting swept in the home-and-home against Medfield. They rebounded with a win against Holliston on Wednesday and now looking to continue that upward trajectory with another win against the same Holliston Panthers.
I believe this will be the first series where the Mustangs can take both games away. I believe they split both their two earlier series to start the year.
Yeah, the first series when it was an interesting one against Hopkinton. They lost relatively big again at home on opening night, and they came back with a big win at Hopkinton. Now moving in is Jack Carroll for Norwood. Player goes down. That's John Piselli on the ice now, number 15 for Holliston. Nice to see the freshman getting a chance. Reese Duncan closed in there on Kyle Ledger. Duncan has the one goal today for Holliston. And now Holliston finally gets it out of the out of their defensive end. Kyle Ledger directing some traffic. Ryan Dutcher steps up for the Panthers. Throws it on goal. Now here's Duncan. Schneelock down low, battles with Ed Carroll. Eventually Norwood comes away with it. Dooley and Cahill back out on the ice with Demaray. Coach Allen giving this line an extended look late in the game.
Yeah, Dooley, a senior. Great for him to get some more ice time here in this game. I know he's a huge hockey fan, had him in class last year. Absolutely loves it.
Always nice to see that. A lot of these kids live and breathe hockey. Kyle Cahill, the same way, has been a dedicated member of this team. He's a senior as well, number 8. The save is made by Quattromoni with just under 2 minutes left to play.
And that's a shot there with Dooley, who's looked more confident with every shift here towards the end of the second half.
Norwood will get a change as those players get a couple high five and a fist pound from Coach Allen as they head to the bench. Again, great work for the Dooley, Cahill, Demaray line. Sure, they wanted to capitalize, but some good energy from them. It looks like Max Sharkey will take the draw. Dittmeyer was originally scheduled to take it, but he ceded to Sharkey. Now Dittmeyer with a really nice move moves in on net, but it is sticked aside by Quattromoni.
And Dittmeyer's looked good here today, the sophomore. So another player just gaining experience here in varsity.
Yeah, Dittmeyer's played a really physical game as well. Really nice to see from someone of his age, not afraid to get in there. He's only going to get better and better. Jared Shea passes it over to Tolman, who does some work getting in. Carroll puts a drive on net. Pushed aside by Quattromoni.
And we have a miscellaneous glove here on the ice.
That was Jonathan Demaray moving the glove out of the way. And now dumped in deep. Tolman He's on defense with Shea. Tolman does a stop and is able to kind of throw off the momentum of some of the Holliston players. Now over to Carroll. Carroll moves in, takes a drive. Sticked away by Payne. Oh. Now a shot on net. And moving in to play it is Gillis. Gillis unable to keep it in the zone though. Now Norwood moves in. Cahill with a little bit of a push.
I think we're going to get an offsides there. A little bit unlucky because it almost appeared as if right in front of us, Dooley kept the puck in the zone.
I wasn't sure. It looks like both of them almost came off. Kyle Cahill did some nice work there. Almost came away with a chance for Norwood. Coach Allen will keep the same line out. Dooley will take the draw against Balowitz. Balowitz wins it back. Here's Pacelli. Throws it on the side for Feldman. Now back behind the crease.
And just a little bit over 30 seconds left here in the second half, so the Mustangs look like they're going to take this one home. But can we put one more on the board?
They're going to try. Here comes Demaray with a drive. Just goes wide. Moving in is McElhaney, working against Dooley. 20 seconds left on the clock. Now back out, Jack Lydon, trying to stick this one away from Feldman. Those two continue to battle into the corner. McElhaney comes back with it. Kicks it back out. Pacelli with a drive, and the save is eventually made by Walsh, who kicks it back out to himself.
And Walsh can be very happy to make that save there. There's about 2.2 seconds left here, so our half about to be over, but nice for a young goalkeeper to kind of come in and be able to keep their team off the board.
And speaking of young players, John Pacelli on the ice for Holliston. He's also a freshman, number 15, and took the shot that almost turned into a big chance for them. Nice to see him taking that confidence with that drive.
Absolutely. We'll have our last face-off here of the game.
And Dooley will eventually win it. Holliston throws it in. But the horn sounds, and that is the end of a toughly fought hockey game. Norwood comes out on top by a score of 6-1. Tyler, the Mustangs have to feel great about the way they played tonight.
Yeah, a lot of positives here for the Mustangs, whether that be on offense and defense. A pretty complete game for them as a team. Maybe their most complete of the season.
Let's see if they can carry this momentum into their next game. The two teams will not quite greet each other on center ice, but from the blue lines will tap their sticks, signaling a well-played game by both teams. They're not able to do the traditional handshake line, but still showing that great sportsmanship as we've come to expect from both teams.
A little bit of different showing of respect here.
So really nice work from both teams as you see the final score, 6-1. Norwood getting the win over Holliston. Good effort, though, from both sides as Norwood takes the home and home against Holliston.
And Norwood's top two lines here with great performances. Whether it be the first line in the first half and our second line in the second half, just an explosion of goals.
Absolutely, and welcome back to the view of us after viewing our beautiful ice here. Tyler, just a great win all around. Coach Allen has to be happy with the way his team played. They got the win on Wednesday, but this is certainly, as you mentioned, a more complete win for the Mustangs, and they've got to come away pretty happy with this. Also letting some young guys get a chance to play.
Absolutely. As a coach, you got to be happy with 2 wins in a week, especially against the same opponent like we talked about. These home and home series, very different. I think the Mustangs did the better job of adjusting here based on what we saw on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Kevin Broderick got a hat trick in the game. 2 goals early from Connor Lydon helped really put the pressure on Norwood. We also saw, as you mentioned, Brendan Bartuka play a great game in net, and Michael Walsh getting some action at the end of the game. Always nice to see that. And even that last bit of action in there, that line of Thomas Dooley, Kyle Cahill, and Jonathan Demaray really kind of closing out the game well for the Mustangs.
Absolutely. Always important to kill off a game. Even in the end when you're up big, you don't want to give up those goals and kind of show the other team some life. Absolutely, this is the second game, but going into next week, it's great to see that you only give up 1 goal.
They did some great work. Norwood will be back at it on Wednesday as they take on Westwood. Holliston will also be back at it on Wednesday as they play a home game against Ashland. The game against Wednesday for Norwood, I believe, will be on the road against Westwood, but we'll be back with the next home game for the Mustangs on Saturday right here on NCM. So we hope you will join us for that. For Tyler Gonsalves and the rest of our NCM crew, I'm Joe Pinola. Thanks to Mike O'Donnell for his camera work. And to the folks down in the truck and Jack Tolman here for doing the great work as they usually do here on NCM. We hope you all have a great evening.
Absolutely. Lucky to be here. A privilege for the both of us. And we'll bring cardboard cutters with us next time. Don't you worry.
Take care, folks.